Hi, and welcome to Live Sketching, the Emmys 2025. Yeah, so we are about an hour out from the actual Emmys awards, but I wanted to live sketch some of the fun looks that are coming down the red carpet right now. So we're doing things a little bit different, considering I actually don't have any of my markers on me, so I just moved, which means we're gonna have to use paint, which I haven't done in a really long time, so bear with me. This is a new process. I'm trying to figure out even where to begin on the paper, what to do here, but yeah, so super exciting. New stuff. Could be great, could be terrible, probably will be terrible. Maybe we'll have one that's great. And then that's a win, right? I'm not the most amazing at gouache, but I also have colored pencils as my saving grace. Just in case. Anyway, so let's get into it. We are gonna start off with Lisa, who of course was in White Lotus. And if you haven't seen that, you definitely should. Anyway, she has this beautiful pink dress that I just really want to draw, because why would you not? It's just like, it looks like strips and strips of organza. Kind of looks like, gosh, kind of looks like ribbon candy, which is, you know, who doesn't want to look like a giant ribbon candy? I dream of that all the time. More often than I should, probably. But anyway, she's looking super cute. So we're just gonna get our little base sketch down here. Get her little knee knobbing. And there's her little leg. We'll see what we think. Looks insane right now. I agree. We're gonna make it look better, hopefully. And if not, then, you know, wasn't meant to be, I guess. But we're gonna do it quickly. So sometimes I'll do these with actual pen because I'm going in with the gouache. I'm gonna do just, you know, obviously a quick sketch with my pencil here. Kind of wish her foot was a little more tilted, but I'm gonna get the little ribbons of the ribbon candy. You know what? I'm gonna I just really want her foot to be facing this way, so I'm going to change it a little bit. There we go. That looks so much better. She doesn't look insane now. Sometimes when you're sketching, you gotta just fudge it a little bit, you know? There's her other foot, just, you know, hiding behind there, whatever. Whatever. Who's gonna know? How would they know? But looking great. Yeah, super pretty. Okay, then we have her other bits and bobs going in there, and it kind of comes out on this little sleeve situation. You see why I wanted to sketch it, you know? Ribbon candy for days. It's giving Glinda. We love it. Love to see it. Let's give her an arm. You get an arm. She's got some cool rings on. Nice. You know, her hand's in front, but again, we're gonna take some liberties and just put it behind. Fun. And she's got necklace stitch with a little knotsy knot. It's not a cutesy knot. And can't forget the décolletage. Great, now we gotta do her face and not screw up. That's the hardest part. Well, the hardest part's gonna be the painting, please. Cool. Super cute little hair. Looking cute. Yeah. I'm gonna make her break it with the mouth here. She's having an open teeth smile. Never good. Not that her smile isn't good. Her smile is very lovely, but you know, open teeth smiles are the bane of my existence. Because how do you make it not look terrible? I don't know. I haven't figured it out. Unsure. May never be sure. That looks terrifying. Well, actually, no. It's getting there. It's not great. Can I make it get there eventually? Potentially. 50-50 shot. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks enough like her that, you know, we can start with that. We can start with that. Not saying it's perfect, but can we start with that? Yeah. So we're going to do this kind of in layers here because, again, I haven't done, this is actually gouache. I haven't done gouache in a while. I'm going to be really honest. Not since probably high school. Which is like 2 years ago. No, just kidding. Actually, my 10-year reunion was yesterday. I didn't go. But, you know, I don't think I've opened these gouaches since then, so I love that I just didn't give her shoes at all. Like, just no shoes. She just has feet with a heel. We're gonna have to be really careful around her face here. So I'm gonna probably go lighter than a normal person that does gouache actively would do, just because I am kind of afraid. I'm gonna level with you. I did do a practice run, and that is in the garbage. Because it was not good. It's not good. It was not of our friend here, but yeah, it didn't turn out as lovely as I would have liked. But I think we can do better. I think we can continue to hone our little craft. Yeah, okay, that doesn't look terrible. She looks like she doesn't have really any color in her skin, but you know, we're gonna let that sit. We're gonna let that sit for a minute. Maybe we'll do a little layer of hair. Tiny layer of hair here. Give her, that's a terrible brown. That looks like, yike. All right. I'm just gonna be really careful here. we want to make her look beauteous, not uggo. She's not uggo. You know, so we want to be very careful. Cute. But I feel like you need the color of the gorgeous dress. So, should we just do a layer of pink before moving on to our next victim? Gonna make a baby pink color. Okay. Fingers crossed this is the right color. It's not. The nice thing about using watercolors is you just add more water and it'll lighten it up. You know, it's the one benefit, the one singular benefit. But, you know, we need some pink in here so she gets that cute little Galinda look. Galinda. This is actually quite a fabulous dress. So because we're using watercolor and we need time for it to dry in between rounds, usually I'll just go one person like all the way through, but we are not going to do that. We're just going to do layers, and then we'll move on to the next person, and then we'll come back. We'll come back and finish it out. So right now I'm just going to do here quick layers so I can let her sit for a second. Sit and dry while I move on to our next. Yeah, we'll give her shoes, you know, we're not heartless. Great. All right. So we'll move on to a new friend here. A new friend. I really want to stay with White Lotus. Who else has already been up? Also, I do love that somebody went as a Labubu to the Emmys. Outstanding. Terrifying. I love it. Give me just a second. As I find another. I really want like Parker Posey. Where's Parker Posey? She hasn't been up yet, has she? Upsetting. We might just have to choose our favorites, I guess. All right, so we're gonna jump around then. In an ideal world, I kind of wanted a little vignette, but let's just do some of our favorite dresses instead. Like what's cute, what's pretty. Let's do it. I need to do something that's a little bit more, not as in your face. Where did she go? Okay, yeah, I really wanted to do Molly Gordon from The Bear. If you haven't seen The Bear, another good one. I will say, not to be a meanie, but I'm not sure the newest season was quite up to par with the last ones, but still fantastic. Fantastic actors and everybody, of course, doing a great job. So let's do Molly Gordon. And I like this one because it's got stripes. It's a little bit more exciting. And very different from our Va-Va-Voom Lisa over here. And then we'll do another Va-Va-Voom. I love the simplicity of a strapless column gown. There's something so gorgeous about that. It's stunning, there's not much to it. This is quite a dichotomy between simple, beautiful, classic, and what feels really new and architectural on the runway. And I think it's really interesting that both of these are gorgeous dresses. Very different approaches. But I like them both. Which would I wear? Probably this. But haven't been invited to the Emmys yet, so I'll let you know. I'll let you know what I wear. I love when they do this little demure hand holding in front. And I'm over here sketching it like I'm AI. Like, who knows how many fingers I'm gonna put on? Maybe none. Sure. It's a little awkward, but I'm gonna leave it. You know what it is? I think her waist is too high. Gorge. And we got her decolletage and her necklace. Just like a little chain situation. And the great part about this is the stripes. A woman that can pull off a bold stripe, that's fantastic. We love a bold stripe. We love looking like a umbrella awning. It's great. I love it. Over a little bit of hair. And then for the part that really matters. Her earrings. No, just kidding. Her face. She looks so, demure. Demure. She has very round eyebrows. We can work with that. All right. So that'll be kind of fun because now when we paint one, we can kind of go in and paint both a little bit. So we'll go in with her skin tone, and then we'll touch up our pal Lisa's skin tone. It's like a progressive painting. Slowly progressing over time. Very easy, very slow. Then we're gonna go back to our friend Lisa over here and we're gonna add another layer. Oop. A little oops. Just a little oops. Bit of an oops. Okay. More of an oops. Just because it's kind of see-through, we're gonna add a little bit underneath there. Just kind of brush that out just a little bit. Maybe that was a bad idea. take all the focus in the world here. Trying not to mess up. So we're going to come in. And we're going to add some hair here. Ooh, that was a lot of water. It's almost detrimental. I'm gonna do something crazy here because I realized I didn't actually have black wash, and I tried to make it, but it came out purple. Not ideal. We're actually just gonna use some watercolor here, right out of the tube. Got some. Guess I should have foreseen that, you know, maybe a black and white dress would be a little difficult to do in watercolor. You don't say. Who would have thunk? I'm excited to see who is going to win what for the Emmys, I will say that. Very interested to see what happens. My top picks are probably gonna be Severance. Really like Severance. I always love Abbott Elementary. I think it's a lot of fun. I liked White Lotus, as you can see. I feel like I tried watching the new season of The Last of Us. I just haven't gotten into it. I'm sure it's good. But, yeah. That looks terrible. Let's make that look a little bit more intentional. Yeah! Sure! Alright. Now we are going to go back to our friend over here. Add in a few more layers. Also just your general shading. Making sure it's popping and we're pulling. Oh, that's just straight red. That's just straight red. I should get a little Pepto-Bismol pink, but you know, is that the end of the world? Not necessarily. If that's what you're into, then you know, Pepto-Bismol pink. Okay, let's do another showstopper. I'll do Shabana Aziz from The Pit, which I haven't seen, but I've heard many, many good things from. And it's just such a fun dress. So, you know, we're gonna just play around. Could be terrible, could be great, we won't know until we try. And Lord knows I'm trying. I think it's extra hard because usually I don't do like multiples to a page, but because it's watercolor paper and we're poor in this economy, please, you know, we gotta save paper. Watercolor paper. Gotta save ourselves a trip to Michael's. God forbid we have to go to Michael's to get more watercolor paper. The best thing is the sign of somebody that does a lot of arts and crafts, right, is that you're like, oh no, I don't have markers, but I do have 8 different types of paint and also paper that I did not know I had. But sure enough, make it work moment, you know, we can do that. That and being like, I didn't know I had knitting needles, happens on a frequent basis, you know. So far, there we go. Kind of loving the way this is turning out, but I'm gonna hold my tongue there because usually when I say that, it goes to hell in a handbasket real fast. And I don't want that. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. These are like pleats. That's interesting. She's got this big old mermaid thing. So we're just gonna move over, Molly. We gotta fit a whole other red dress in here with a train, yo. Yeah, love it, love it. Looks fabulous. And then she's got some pleating situation. I'm just making it up at this point. Looks like some sort of pleating situation. Ooh, she got bendy arms. She's showing off her little rings here. We gotta do our AI hands, you know. Don't worry, I'll clean it up later. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe I'll clean it up later. Maybe I won't. Looking Crazy Town Banana Pants. Gotta make that not look Crazy Town Banana Pants. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Which is shocking. Because I hate a lot of things. Yeah, I'll just give her extra hair there. Okay. 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 Not mad at it. Give her her little collabs here. Fix that. Great. Her head's like a little small. Or maybe Molly's head is just a little big. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Actually, I'm gonna use a smaller brush. It's always hard with skin tone because I don't want to like give too much water to the gouache and then suddenly your entire painting is insane, but also you want to give enough so you have actual pigment in the skin. Color quite right, not quite right. Gotta get it a little better, which we'll do. I'm definitely more of a cautious, bit of a cautious watercolor. Color to her. Yeah, that is looking a little gray. All right, fix it in post. No, just kidding. Just kidding. I gotta use our handy dandy watercolor black here for our hair. else she'll end up with like purple hair. Great. And now we're going to come in with our red. Red. Woo! I feel like that red could actually use... Oh, you know what, that'll be fine. Use more like orange or something. Yeah, hold on. It's a little too like pinky red. There we go. Color. Yes, my colors are pink, black and white, and red. It's the vibe I'm putting out, I guess. I know there's most likely a better technique for this. Actually, I can almost guarantee there's a better technique for this. But like I said before, my technique for fashion illustration is markers. So outside of my realm, this is not the right color. I love that for me. But she looks very lovely. Great. So now we have our 3 yellies. Let's go in with some more detailing, guys. More detailing. Just building layers on layers. And right now I'm getting into the thick of it. My dog just barked. Gorgino. I think we're almost, dare I say, done with our friend here. And this is just a taste. I think I'll probably do some more throughout the week as we get more images of, you know, different celebrities, and also I get markers. That's the real reason. But this is good practice. And that's why we have this little show. bottom line is it's all practice. That's it. You don't have to be amazing right off the bat. I'm not. And that's okay. Because when you practice, you get better, hopefully. If not, then you know what? Move on to a different hobby. If it's not meant to be, let it be somebody else's hobby. That's okay. It's not failure, it's just knowing your limitations. And the very well could be for me. Watercolor isn't that. Although I haven't been really messed up by it. So, you know, like we're not doing great, but we're also not doing terrible. So I will take that as a win. For being outside of my element here, like that's a win, sure. But please let me know which one you liked the best, which one you thought was the most successful, which one actually looks like a celebrity, you know, and not just like a random person. But maybe these are random people to you. I don't know. Maybe you haven't seen these shows. I don't know. But you probably should if you're watching the Emmys, you know. I actually, and this is a fun fact about me, this is a terrible fact about me, but I have an issue where I can't finish a show. Like, I won't do it. If I know that it's close to the last episode, I'm not watching the last episode. I'm not watching the last episode. Why would I do that to myself? It's like saying goodbye to friends. Like, I'm not doing that. That's sad. That's sad. I can't do that. So I just don't. I won't watch the last episode. Which I know is kind of insane, but that's who I am, you know? Deep inside. Kind of insane. Alright, well, let's make this a little bit more of a blackety black stripe. And not gray. Because it needs to be prettier. As much as like a gray gown could be pretty. Gray and white striped gown. Not so pretty. Watch it be like navy or brown and I'm just colorblind. That'd be crazy. Alright, we got about 10 minutes left before you gotta actually watch the Emmys, unless you're not watching the Emmys. But you're probably not watching me if you're watching the Emmys. But maybe you are. Maybe you have multiple screens. I have multiple screens. It's looking more black and whitish. Actually, just gonna add just a touch of black into her hair to get it a little bit on a darker note. Cool. Looking good. Looking fab. 1G. I'll stop, I promise. Coming together. All right, now we gotta fix her skin tone, which looks purple. You know, yikes. Big yikes. All right, let's fix our girl here. Looks like she's still not fully dry yet, so got to be very careful with the baby over here. She's like got gray skin. No, I don't want to do her dirty. Just got to be very careful. All right, we're getting there. We are getting there with something. I am concerned. I'm concerned. I'm gonna give her pink shoes even though her shoes are pink. Shh. And then her little knot is also pink. Okay, so I'm gonna give her a second to dry just because I am genuinely concerned that if I go over the top of that, it's much too wet and it's gonna start ripping the paper, which I accidentally do a lot. So we're not gonna take our chances. It's better to be super duper safe than super duper sorry. And instead we'll go in and we'll kind of finish out our friend Lisa. I'm gonna go in with some colored pencils here. I mean, I love colored pencils a lot. I have like 8 million, and they can just help fix things that I didn't do great, you know? Which is a lot. I'm gonna get to my pinks. Did not think this through. Yeah. Sure. Looks great. We're just gonna do a little shiny great. Looking good. Also just gonna go in with our handy dandy micron pen. Just give her even more bits of detail here. Did I mess it up? Then I make it worse. I'm just gonna come in. Honestly, I'm just going to do really light marking here. I'm just kind of actually. So I don't want to do too crazy of stuff here. It's never a good plan. Okay, we'll go in with the sienna brown, I guess. And we'll do kind of our nuanced lines in sienna brown. Instead of the black. Because the black was feeling a little scary. Cute. All right, we will call that a win. Great. Okay. Well, now that this is all dry, let's go back to her. So right now I'm actually coming in with, I add a little bit of yellow to my red to make it a little bit less pink. There we go. To try to get it just red tone. Red, not pink red. Because she definitely is a different color than our friend over there. She shouldn't be bubblegum pink. She should be lipstick red. But that's my bad. My bad. So we're just gonna fix that. Better. Then we're gonna let her dry, and while we're doing that, finish out our friend over here. So for this, I'm gonna do a few different things. So because our black is still not quite black enough, I'm gonna come in with a black colored pencil. Really go in there with it. And then I'm gonna do my little nuance line in black for that. I'm also gonna come in and just do a little bit of pencil here. I think, like anything, like as you go, you're gonna develop what works for you. And looking at that, I actually wish I didn't add ink to it. I wish I would have kept it just colored pencil. I wish I didn't go so hard on everything else, you know, and just kept it all about the gouache. Again, it's like I'm coming from a marker background, so this is very different for me. So, you know, you gotta relearn how to do things. It's okay. Not gonna be perfect the first time. That's okay. We're also going to do the sienna for that. So we went a little lighter on her details. Ow. I do think we can maybe go in with a little bit of this here. Just for the face. Hopefully I won't immediately regret it. No, I don't immediately regret it. Might help. Unsure, check back again later. I'm gonna add some more detail to that. Give her a little ring. Yeah, I mean, not the best I've ever done, but not the worst. All right. And the last one, and I'm sure you've already jumped over to the actual Emmys by now, but I'm going to finish it out for posterity. Going back to our friend over here. bit more to get her skin tone right. She has kind of a warmer skin tone than what I have. Which is unfortunate, but we gotta do with what we got here. Great. I'll let that dry for a sec. Fix her head just a little bit. And I do think she is pretty lovely. As soon as we get in there, you know, it's always the case that you kind of get better as you go. That's why we practice. That's why we practice. Because you do. It is true. You do get better as you go. Like I wish I started out. I should show you my my initial sketch, which was not good at all. It was bad. It was big bad. But yeah, I mean, you live and you learn, and it's a struggle. So if I have to do watercolor this week, then that's something new that I'm learning. And that's okay. Did I just ruin her? I think I just ruined her. Oh no. And that's why I didn't want to use ink. How do I fix that? Fix it in post, I guess. Welp. See if I can just lift that corner up. Probably, I definitely can't. I don't know why I'm even trying. It's actually making it worse. I'm sorry, girl. You are my favorite one. It's always whenever I have a favorite one and I'm like, this is looking so good. And then it's like, you You spoke too soon, girl. Does that look better, or am I like gaslighting myself? No, it doesn't. It doesn't look better. It doesn't look better. Oh, she looks like the evil queen now. This is not it. No, I think that looks better. I think I could save this. I think I could save this. I think. Ooh, girl. Pray for me. You have to like kind of go in. Very lightly. Great. Okay, I'm gonna pretend. We're just gonna pretend that doesn't look atrocious. Also, I need to fix up her little nose here because it's looking a little. Not as cute as it should look. Sometimes when you play around too much, it gets muddled. Did we fix it? I think we fixed it. I think it looks better. It doesn't look as problematic as it did. Right? Am I gaslighting myself? Probably. No. You know what? I still like her. I still like her. Hooey. Do we do something else controversial here? Do we add some that this might be a terrible idea. It's probably a terrible idea. If I think it might be a terrible idea, we're gonna do it because we are in an experimental. So we're gonna go in with a really dark kind of blood red here. Is actually made up of my own blood. No, just kidding. I just added a little bit of darker brown. Wouldn't that be crazy? Just to give it a little bit, clean up some of those edges. Now that we've absolutely destroyed her face. But I think we brought it back to life. I think we fixed it. Very methodically. Is that even actually doing much? Like how I was like, this is gonna be revolutionary, and then it like actually didn't. It really didn't do much, did it? Girl. She's still my favorite. Now I have to go watch The Pit, I guess, because I have not seen it yet, and I spent way too much time on our friend here, and now I feel like I feel like I'm a fan, right? Haven't even seen her act, but I'm like, you know, I know the curves of your face. What a creepy thing to say to somebody. I'm scared to go back to her face, but it's somebody stop me. Somebody stop me. No, it's actually helping, actually. I just wanted to soften up just a little bit here. Okay, no, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. I'm not gonna mess with it. What's done is done, cannot be undone. All right. Well, then I will be signing off. So you guys can go watch the Emmys. And then I will, do some more later on down the road with some other celebrities and some cooler pictures. But these are the 3 that I did today. All finished up. We're living and we're learning. And gouache is hard. So is life. All right. Thanks, guys.